it's subject to the Charter rights. It's subject to your Charter rights. So can somebody please explain to me, since when does a municipal politician have precedence over a premier, over a prime minister? Because they don't have control or authority over our Charter rights. Our Charter rights belong to us. They belong to us. This country is a free and democratic country. Everybody who moves here to get away from that sort of nonsense. Our kids, they come here because they want their kids to have the opportunities that they never got because they were controlled. Can you imagine living somewhere where somebody tells you this is what you're going to do for a living? What? You might as well just take it off right now, folks. Democracy is everything. Education is everything. And I know I go on about words. A lot of you guys always hear me go on and on about words, but words really are the most important part of civilization. And if you're not sure what the words are defined as, how they're defined, then you could end up supporting something, and in most cases this is what happens, that you would never ever get behind. So please, anytime you hear a politician speak, if you're not sure, if there's like even one little word that might be out of place and it doesn't make sense, look it up, and don't look it up in just a Webster's dictionary. Utilize a legal dictionary, because what happens in there is law, becomes law. And we're supposed to be the ones that make those decisions. So I think that you all would want to be very clear on what is being pushed into law in that house. With that said, I think there's some clouds. Just joking. I'm going to have Chris Sky come up here. Everybody, Chris Sky. I love my calendar, girl.
You know the clouds never follow me, Kelly. Hi, everybody. How are you? It's been a long week. We went down to Ottawa. It was absolutely fantastic. I talked to the police to get an official count of how many people they estimated. They said the total count was around 10,000 people. That was impressive, even for me. I didn't even expect that much. I was wide-eyed over there when I walked around. It was really crazy. And I met people from literally every single province, people that are all over my Facebooks. I met people from Vancouver, from New Brunswick, from Nova Scotia, from PEI, from Alberta. Everybody congregated there. It was a perfect show of unified non-compliance. Even the Ottawa Citizen had to take that quote and put it in there. Even though they tried to make a hit piece on the protest, they had to talk about that. What do we need to talk about today? The biggest thing on our agenda right now are these masks. The masks are evil. You wear the mask today, tomorrow it's contact tracing, then it's a vaccine, then it's a digital ID, and congratulations, you have completed the transformation from citizen to slave. Or we stop it now, right now. How do we stop it? I actually went to the Toronto website and read the bylaw. Imagine that. Point 4 is very, very important. Exemptions. This is how you beat the mask. This is how every single person here and everywhere else beats the mask 100% of the time. Walk into any place that they tell you need to wear a mask, whether you're on the TTC, whether you're in a private facility, anywhere you are. Simply say, I have a medical condition. That's it. That one phrase. Let's repeat it. I have a medical condition. At that point, you are not required to provide any type of proof. You are not required to explain your so-called condition, and they have no right to ask you. So if you try to walk into Longo's and that $8 an hour door watcher says, "Where's your mask?" What do you say? Thank you very much. And you know what he's going to say? 99% of the time they're going to say, come on in. 1 out of 100, you're going to get an ignorant person that says, well, you still can't come in the store. You know what you say? I'm walking in the store, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's that simple. Tell them, call the police. When the police come and say, why aren't you wearing a mask? What are you going to tell them? Thank you. And you know what they're going to say? Why the hell did these idiots call me? If you're at work. So that takes care of masks for the public. And we're going to prove it on Tuesday, as Vlad said. We're going to go to Dundas Square. We're going to get our little protest together. We don't need that many people, 20, 30 people. We're going to march down to the TTC, and one after the other, we're going to say, I have a medical condition. And you're going to see every single one of us, mask-free, get on that TTC and walking proud and walking tall with the rest of the people staring at us in awe, as they should be, because they need to wake the hell up. At work is a little bit different. Because at work, your boss is going to say, I don't want to get fined if you're not wearing a mask. And he has a good point, especially since he's been closed down probably for the last 4 months. So how do you protect your boss, but protect yourself? Very simple. Go to your family doctor. If you don't have a family doctor, go to a walk-in clinic. This is still Canada. It's free with your health card. Tell them, I was wearing a mask at work. I tried a couple different masks. After a few hours, I felt dizzy. I felt faint. Guess what? Every doctor will provide you a note that says, I have a medical condition. Now when you go back to work and you present that to your boss, he is no longer, or she is no longer liable for you not wearing a mask, and they cannot get charged, you cannot get charged, so they have zero incentive to try to force you. So, what did we learn today? We learned how we're going to beat the masks immediately. The day they put them into effect, we're already ready to destroy them. Not just in public, but in private at work. So that's what we're going to do about those masks. How crazy are these mask wearers? You have no idea. I got physically assaulted on the way to Ottawa in a gas station. I wasn't thinking anything of it. I didn't think I was some kind of maverick. I just needed gas. So I pumped my gas like a normal person, tried to walk in and pay for it. The gas station attendant said, you can't come in without a mask. I said, excuse me. First of all, that doesn't even go into effect until July 7th. And second of all, if you want me to pay for the gas I just pumped, you're going to let me in the store. I didn't even have to say I have a medical condition. I just used a little bit of common sense and see, just to test how stupid this guy really was. Sure enough, he let me in the store. But he got really, really, really upset when I grabbed a Red Bull for my wife. He acted like I just tried to kidnap his dog or something. It was really, really scary. So already I was already aware that these people are not dealing with a full deck. When people have been mind controlled like this, you can't reason with that. And I got further proof of this as soon as I walked out of the store. Literally just trying to walk back to my truck so I could go to Ottawa, so I could do what I'm doing here. Some random dude is filling up his truck. He just couldn't help himself. Hey, asshole! Who do you think you are? You think the rules don't apply to you? I should kick your effing ass. Excuse me? It's one thing to insult me, I don't mind. But when somebody threatens me, I kind of get a little bit upset. And you can see that on video. This led to this guy and his girlfriend coming in my face. And the thing that I said to him, ironically, that got him to physically attack me was, why are you so upset that I'm not wearing a mask? You and your girlfriend are also not wearing masks. So they weren't even wearing masks themselves. But they got so angry that I wasn't wearing mine that they had to physically attack me. So then just to put the spear of God in them, I got my wife to videotape their license plate and let them think I would call the cops on them, but I would never do that. It was fun to let them think so. So this is how crazy these mask wearers are. So we gotta stop this before it starts. That's why I gave you this information before it becomes law. I'm also doing something else that's gonna help everybody with this, because I know everybody needs a little push for courage every now and then. Vlad has those flyers. Those flyers are great. But I'm going to take it one step further. I'm creating an actual card. A plastic card. Looks like it's very well made, professional. And it's going to say, face mask medical exemption card. Because we all have a right to our exemption. And already, you don't really need the card, I'm not going to lie to you, but it helps. if you don't even want to say anything to the person because you're just tired of talking to people that are stupid, like most of us are, just pull out the car and let it do the talking for you. And that's it. So that's how we're going to beat these masks. We're going to make that video on Tuesday. We're going to make it go viral, no pun intended. And everyone's going to see that the masks are irrelevant. And then that's going to prevent the contact tracing. That's going to prevent the vaccine. That's going to prevent the digital ID. Now we got to talk about the second wave that everybody's in denial of because Canadians just want to believe. I talk to so many people and they're all like, oh my God, everything's getting better. I don't know why you're so upset. People are back to work, the sun's out, we can go out. They don't even think about the consequences that have already happened that haven't manifested yet. They don't even think about what's going to happen in October, November when all these idiots wearing masks destroy their immune systems and our flu season is a little bit worse than normal. And guess what they'll blame it on? COVID. Yeah, exactly. And they're going to want to lock everybody down again. How do we know this? Look at the United States of America. 16 states are already being put back under lockdown. Yes, and how are they doing it? When we had the US peak deaths, we were seeing 3,000 deaths a day at the peak of COVID. They were testing 100,000 people a day. Now all of a sudden, you see in the news, record spikes in COVID cases in the United States. 40,000 new cases today. Why is that? Maybe because instead of testing 100,000 people a day, now they're testing 600,000 people a day to get 40,000 positives. That's a 0.8 infection rate. And that's with including all the false positives where we know up to half are false positives. So that means they have a 99.6% negative infection test rate for COVID, but they're telling everybody that COVID has spiked 600%. But they leave out the important parts. Who cares how many cases there are? We need to know how many people in hospitals are dying. Remember I said at the peak, it was 3,000 people a day. Today there's less than 500 people a day dying. But they're using the excuse of these extra cases, that is 100% because of the testing, while they're denying it's because of the testing, as an excuse to relock these people down. And if you think they're going to not do the exact same thing here in Junior USA, then you might as well not even be here. That's exactly what they're going to do. Why do you think they have these phases? Phase 2, now you're at phase 2.5, but we can't get you all the way to phase 3. And then something happens that they want to do, and now we're going to move you back to phase 2. The point is, you're never getting out of lockdown unless you force them, unless we stop this here. And it starts with these masks, and now it's going to move on to the awareness. You all remember my group MAD? Mothers Against Distancing. Well, as promised, I filmed the first episode last week, and it went fantastic. I was really excited. So well, in fact, that I already have the 2 next guests lined up. 2 of them, and they're 2 doctors, and they're very talented, and they're very knowledgeable, and they're going to be very powerful. Hopefully, I will have it edited by the end of the week, and I'll have it up, and by the end of next week, and by next week, I should also have those plastic cards to show everybody. MAD got over 20,000 people in 2 weeks, with Facebook using every dirty trick in the book to block it. I can't even invite one person. I can't even invite any of you here. So I rely on all the individual members to invite other people. And that's how we've grown so big so fast. Even the stay home crowd is signing up to MAD. Why? Because even they are smart enough to know that social distancing is going to friggin' destroy their children. Everybody knows this. The government cannot even deny it. The only thing the government can tell you is, COVID is dangerous, so be afraid, and just don't worry about what we're planning on doing to your children. It's all for your own good. Don't worry. Anyway, this is what happened. This is everything that's going on. We need to keep going. The fight is kind of switching to online now because everybody seems to be doing their own thing for summer, which I appreciate and which I do. People said, why do you have music here? Why are people dancing around? Because they told us it's illegal to do so. So we're in a summer of united non-compliance. It's our responsibility to do everything they're telling us we can't. So we're gonna sing, we're gonna dance, we're gonna gather, we're gonna hug each other, we're gonna take off the masks. It's that simple. We're gonna do what we know is right for us, not what they tell us. That's the message today, and it all starts Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the day that we literally draw the line in the sand. And we're not taking one step back. Thanks, everybody.